functions. This is something that's really kind of bothered me. I don't remember much from algebra, but I do remember this. You can never really figure out like f plus g or... I don't know. It just got confusing for me. So I thought, what the hell, let's do a couple of these. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use these two pieces of information. These two right here. To solve 1, 2, 3, and 4. I got 1 and 2 here. Got 3 and 4 here. We're going to use those as well. Just got to write them up above so we can see it. All right. Now, what does it mean for f plus g of x? It doesn't mean take f and add it to g and then multiply by x. It's a weird notation. That this means f of x plus g of x. Now, what's f of x equal? 2x plus 1. So we replace it. And then we're like, okay, cool, plus g of x. But we're not going to use g of x. We're going to use what g of x equals. G of x equals x squared. So we're going to add x squared. Let's just write this thing in descending order. Put the x squared first. We're like x squared plus 2x plus 1. And there's an answer. Yes, that factors down to x plus 1 all squared. But I don't give a crap. I'm just trying to put that stuff together. That's what it means for f plus g of x. Now you can do it for x. You can plug in numbers. You can do whatever you want there as long as it's within what's called the domain of the function. Now let's go to our next one where we have f minus g of 2. It's not f minus g and then multiply by 2. It's saying we're plugging 2 in. It's a weird notation. This is saying we're going to take f of 2 minus g of 2. Well, what the heck is f of 2? Well, let's take our f and plug it in. Notice everywhere that we had an x, I have written over on the right-hand side. I wrote a parenthesis instead. We're not going to plug in an x. We're going to put in a 2, right? We want to know what f of 2 is, so we plug it in. Oh, now it's all frickin' numbers. So what's that? 4 plus 1, which is equal to 5. F of 2 is equal to 5. It's just a frickin' number. Cool. Now let's do the same thing with g of 2. We're like, well, all right, where's g? G's x squared. Like, okay, so g of something is equal to something squared. Oh, we're popping in 2. Okay, cool. Let's put in our 2. So what are we going to get? G of 2 is equal to 4. Oh, so just pop it on in there. And what's 5 minus 4? Damn straight, it's equal to 1. And there's a solution. Remember this stuff? Notation. Notation. Let's go to our next. Same functions. We got 2x plus 1 and we got x squared. But now we got f. It's a little times. There's nothing's written in between the two things. You just got an f and a g, which implies it's a multiplication. So this is saying we're going to take our, I don't write the color code. It's f of x times g of x, but you don't want to write f of x's and g of x's. You want to write what they're equal to. So let's put this in as a 2x plus 1, and that's times that x squared. Notice I keep using my equal sign. Now, depending on how you want to leave it, factor it or expand it, I mean, I think we already have our solution. I guess I'll bring it all the way through and call it 2x cubed plus x squared. But either one would have been sufficient. It's not about that. It's about plugging them in. All right, cool. Now let's do f over g of 0. And we're like, okay, well, this is going to be f of 0 over g of 0. All right, I got to go back over. Like f of is equal to 2 times something plus 1. All right, we're plugging in zeros. So 0 and 0. So f of 0 is equal to 0 plus 1. Oh, it's just 1. Okay, cool. So this is equal to a 1 over... And now we go to our next one, and we're like, okay, g of is equal to something squared, right? Something squared. We're like, okay, we need to plug in 0. And we're going to do this, and then we're going to be like, g of 0 is equal to 0. And we go to here, and we go, shit. You can never divide by 0. You can never divide by 0. This is undefined. Undefined. You can never divide by 0. You may never, and I'll give you, You ever divide by 0 and claim that it equals 0, I will take all of your points for the entire problem. Dividing by 0 is not allowed, ever. You divide by 0 and say it's 0. You say it's anything other than undefined, I will take all of your points for the entire problem. I don't care if it's a 20-point problem and this is the last step. We can never make that mistake. Okay, that's just unacceptable. No zeros in the denominator, ever. So that one's going to be undefined. So here we go. There we have it. Functions. How we play around with them, what we do when we add two functions, subtract two functions, multiply two functions, or divide by two functions. Divide two functions. The next one we're going to mess with is going to be composite functions, and that's going to lead us into our inverses, and that'll be the last of our videos. You got 2 more coming, and we'll be done. See you in the next.